Just wanna be with you.
All right, we're back out in the garage on another Saturday. We're installing Mustang front suspension in a Mopar. You're not going to want to miss this. It's all custom, one-off stuff. Does it fit that well? Eh, we'll see. 7-inch Viking struts. SN95 Mustang, so that's 94 to 98 Mustang. Hubs, rotors, calipers. We got some custom AJE lower control arms. We got upper strut mounts, bolt-in upper strut mounts that they don't make anymore, that we had them make 10 years ago. And we have a 73 AJE A-body Mopar K-member. So that the difference between 67 up through 72 is they use a what's it called, like a pancake mount or something, and then the so it just uses a bolt and a pad. And the 73 and up K members use a spool mount. So and then AJE also made me LS motor mounts. I know, but they did. So I'll show you guys what we got cooking. This stuff I assembled in the gravel. I didn't have any space in the shop. We had just moved here, and I was like excited and wanted to try to bolt this stuff in. So it's like kind of just thrown in there, but it worked out, and I was able to roll the thing around. Now it's time to go back through and take the upper mount back off, make sure we're cutting everything. This stuff had no instructions, so we're just winging it. And the right side turned out decent, so at least, you know, you guys don't get to watch me make too big of an idiot of myself. But I won't let you down. Promise. Got some wheel spacers behind here because these Kragers don't really fit. These are my dad's. He was gracious enough to let me jump in here and use these. All right, there's the light over here. Yeah, none of these bolts are tight, so it's a good thing I stopped myself from going and doing some burnouts, because that would have been shitty. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this strut out of here. I flipped this bracket on the strut itself, but what that did was I'm going to have to cut this ear off. And so the coil spring, because this bracket's flipped, the coil spring is way too tall. So this thing was like maxed out at 7-inch shaft showing with the weight on it. So this will lower the ride height. I may have to go to a shorter spring, and I may have to put drop spindles on here. So, yeah. And then I was kind of looking too the other day, and it, yeah, might need to make some more changes, but we'll see. We got our trusty floor jack under here. Ta-da! So see what I mean? I gotta flip this around, and then I'm gonna cut this off on my bandsaw and flip them back around. so that they'll be riding down here, and in turn the spring area will be lower because it'll be over here, and then this would hit the ball joints. These are for like an S550. They're the shortest compressed length strut that Viking sold, so that's what I needed in my life. But you know, with all the rage and the small tire racing, I just thought, man, this would be cool. A little 5.3 in here, big travel. We do a lot of no prep stuff around here, and thing would work good. It's got a little 8.8 with 373 gear and a Positrack unit in there, fresh out of a early 90s Ford Ranger. So it's about the same width as a normal A-body rear end, an 8.8 or a 8 3/4, which you can't seemingly find around here. So I didn't want to buy a housing and everything. I bought that rear end for $150 from a wrecking yard, and it's 5 on 4.5 bolt pattern, as is this front. Why I didn't use Fox body stuff is, guys that don't know much about Mustangs, a lot of their stuff's 4-lug. So I was like, well, if I can get SN95 stuff to just fit, we'll be in good shape. All right, we're back over here. Now I set up, tried to get all my tools for you guys, so you don't have to wait for me. Very impressed with Viking's products. I know tons of people run them, but yeah, I got some no prep valving in here. Oh yeah, I should note that these holes here had to be custom slotted and notched. So not really that big of a deal. Actually just used the old struts. I bought the front steering knuckles and struts and rotors and everything out of a wrecking yard. And I was hoping I could make those work, but they're so long. So that's... The thing is, I feel like when I originally had these upper strut mounts made, I had some old Alston super struts, and they're like a drag strut in terms of height, but they would have worked great, and they were like big, heavy-duty, beefy things. They were not lightweight. All right, this is super loud. Apologize. I'll probably fast forward this for you guys. All right, we're not going to win any Riddler awards here, you know, but that'll do. And we're back. Custom modified. I'm going to speed this up. Okay, I gotta go orient these knobs, and I think it's gonna probably end up somewhere right in there. But I'm gonna put this hardware in first. Snug this up just a little bit. I'm dying without my music, man. It's probably the hardest thing about this is no music. It's like no coffee in the morning or something. Terrible. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm back. I'm a pretty good guesser. I'm real proud of myself. These knobs got to miss the ball joint and some steering components, and there's no room on the backside. You want them like, can't face them in towards the car because at full drink they hit the control arm. So anyway, they're right where they need to be. Hey boys and girls, Viking Crusaders with the A&D valving. Ooh, ooh, get you some. All right, everybody, here is my bolt-in upper strut mount. Now, kind of was pointing this out earlier. Oh, we're on a ratchet here. Stand by. All right, so what we got here. So, all right, take number 3. So this right here, a lot of Mopar guys I've seen at the drag strip and stuff, they rip this inner fender structure out. It's not a good idea because this thing's a unibody, and they make kits to reinforce this. You can tie a roll bar into this, but our upper strut mount uses lower control arm mounting bolts. It bolts right here, and then up here there's a gap, but when the thing's sitting right, there's no gap. And it took me a little bit to figure that out. What you do have to do is just pop this down and just hog on this, because it I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it hits, yeah, it hits, so you got to cut right there. Just keep cutting, and I didn't do that because, like I said, I was in the gravel, so, and I need longer bolts in here. I need the bolts for there. I bought grade 8 bolts. What else? Yeah. So we're going to fold this down. We're going to grind this. We're going to get this sitting tight. and then I'm gonna drill for these upper bolt holes and get this thing bolted in into the strut tower here, and then we're gonna have to cut the top or a more better hole. So what I did when I bolted this on the other side is once I got this thing bolted in up here, I set the plate up top, spun it around and drew so I could make a bigger hole. That gave me all the adjustment, and it's not perfect. I cut it with a body saw. See? Finished product. But now we can get all of our adjustment. These holes are spot weld holes. So I'll have to do the same thing on this side. But it'll be sweet. Pretty good. Alright. I'm going to set you guys out of the action here, because I don't know what grinder sparks are going to do from the phone. Nothing good. That's for sure. I had to give a little clearance right here and right here. This thing was coming up. So I'm going to try, did not do this on the other side. I'm going to try to boys and girls, let's close this out. So we got Mustang front suspension in this Mopar. Let's check this out real quick. So, finish this up. And this is all tight, but if you look, let me get back here. Still got a little bit of a camber problem here. And that's okay. That can be fixed two ways. I think the factory Mustang adjustment, I think, is here, and this is not slotted. So we could pick up some there. We may have to make some of these lower control arms. And we go up some more. I think it would benefit from a little bit shorter spring. And you can get a 2-inch drop spindle here. So, you know, it's going to need a little bit more work here to get this right. We can see this side's all drooped out. But it's going to do that way more on the droop. But that's close. I don't feel comfortable running that out any further with the rodding that's on there. So there's a 1/2 inch of engagement. Yeah, and it stopped cambering in when I got about half travel. So I'm good with that. Anyway, This will just be good enough to do some burnouts, but everything's tight. Yeah. Trying to pioneer something. I know they make Hemi Denny makes nice stuff. There's Tory Shellhammer. He makes super nice front suspension. I'm a Mopar guy, so I know. But I want to do something cheap, and I think I bought that K-Member. It was like on sale through Jegs. It was years ago, but I want to say it was like 300 bucks. And then those mounts were like a couple $100, and I just pieced things together over the years. The rack and pinion steering, and this is for drag racing stuff. And in fact, there's a really popular 8.5 class, and I thought, man, this thing would be so cool if you put this on a little 8.5-inch tire, and you know, everything's got to be bolt in. So I don't know why this wouldn't be legal. And big travel. This should fit a 28 10.5 on the back, no problem. So be a good small tire car. Anyway, it's a long ways off from being, you know, a raceable car, but it's just a little project, and I want to go do some burnouts, and this thing's gonna be sweet. Let's hope that we got some oil pressure, and if that happens, I'm gonna annihilate these tires. Sorry, Dad. Love you, man. All right, guys, like and subscribe. See ya. All right, smash that like button and subscribe.